Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever caught yourself doing something and only realized it after you already did it? Maybe you opened your phone just to check the time, and 20 minutes later, you're still scrolling. Or you told yourself, I'll start working in 5 minutes. But somehow, 5 minutes turns into an hour, and you sit there thinking, how did that even happen? It feels like you are in control, but at the same time, not fully in control. Now, here's the key idea I want you to really hear. Most of your daily behavior does not happen because you are making fresh decisions every time. It is happening because your brain is running a hidden pattern in the background, a loop, a system. And once you understand it, everything starts to look different. This pattern is called the habit loop, and once you see it clearly, you stop blaming yourself in the same way. You are not lazy. You are not undisciplined. You are simply running loops you never consciously designed. Let me explain. A habit is not just a random action. It is a three-part cycle that repeats automatically. First, there is a trigger, something that tells your brain, start this behavior. Then comes the routine. This is the actual action you take. And finally, there is a reward, something your brain gets from it, even if it is small. That's it. Trigger, routine, reward. Trigger, routine, reward. And your brain loves this system because it saves energy. Instead of thinking deeply every time, it just repeats what worked before. Here's the truth. Your brain is always looking for shortcuts, not because it is lazy, but because it is efficient. If it had to rethink every single action from scratch, you would feel exhausted just getting through a normal day. So instead, it builds loops. And once a loop is formed, it starts running on autopilot. Let's make this real. Imagine this situation. You feel a little tired in the afternoon. That is the trigger. Without even thinking, you open your phone. That is the routine. You scroll for a few minutes, and you feel slightly distracted from stress or boredom. That is the reward. And your brain remembers that. It stores it. Next time you feel tired in the afternoon, it says, we know what to do. And just like that, the loop strengthens. No decision needed, no awareness needed. It just happens. Now here's something important I want you to understand clearly. The reward does not have to be big. It just has to feel good enough in the moment. Even a tiny relief counts. Even a small distraction counts. Even a brief escape counts. That is why habits are so powerful. They are not built on logic. They are built on relief and repetition. Let's take another example. You wake up in the morning. That is the trigger. You go to the kitchen and make tea or coffee. That is the routine. And you feel awake, comfortable, ready to start your day. That is the reward. Do this enough times, and your brain stops asking questions. It just says, morning equals coffee. Morning equals coffee. And that becomes a loop running your life. And the truth is, you probably have dozens of these running right now. Some helpful, some harmful, most completely unnoticed. Now here's the part most people miss. You are not just building habits, you are being shaped by them. Because every loop reinforces an identity over time. Let that sink in. If your loop is stress to snack to relief, your brain learns to solve stress with food. If your loop is boredom to phone to stimulation, your brain learns to escape discomfort with distraction. If your loop is goal to discomfort to avoidance, your brain learns that discomfort means stop. And slowly, without realizing it, your behavior starts to feel automatic. You don't think, I avoid hard tasks. You just feel like you don't feel like it. But it is deeper than feelings. It is wiring. Let me pause here and bring this home. You are not fighting your habits because you are weak. You are fighting them because they are already structured systems. And systems almost always beat willpower. That is why motivation feels strong at first, but fades quickly. Because motivation is emotional. But habits? Habits are mechanical, and mechanical systems always repeat. So what do we do with this? This is where everything starts to change. Because once you can see the loop, you can interrupt it. You don't need to destroy your habits. You need to redesign the loop. Now here's the key idea. You usually cannot control the trigger easily. Life will keep happening. But you can control the routine, and you can reshape the reward. That is where your power is. Let's make this practical. First, start noticing your triggers. Don't judge them, just observe them. Ask yourself, what usually happens right before I fall into an automatic behavior? Is it boredom? Is it stress? Is it a certain time of day? Is it a specific place? You are becoming aware of the starting signal of your habits, and once you see the trigger, the loop stops being invisible. Second, look at the routine, the behavior itself. Ask, what exactly am I doing when this habit kicks in? Be honest, no blame, just clarity, because you cannot change what you refuse to see clearly. And third, this is where transformation begins. Look at the reward. Ask, what am I actually getting from this habit? Not what I think I should get, but what I actually feel. Is it relief? Is it escape? Is it stimulation? Is it comfort? Because your brain is not doing things randomly. It is chasing something. And once you identify the reward, you gain leverage. Let me give you a simple, real-life shift. Imagine someone who always procrastinates before studying. Their loop might look like this. Trigger, sitting down with a difficult task. Routine, opening social media. Reward, instant relief from pressure. Now, instead of trying to force discipline, they change the routine. They still sit down with a task. That part stays. But instead of escaping, they set a rule. I will work for just 5 minutes before I check anything else. At first, it feels small, almost too small. But something interesting happens. The reward starts shifting. Now the reward becomes, I survived starting. And that feeling is powerful, because starting is often the hardest part. Over time, the brain learns a new loop. Trigger, difficult task. Routine, short action toward the task. Reward, sense of control and progress. And just like that, the habit begins to flip. Not through force, but through redesign. Now let's zoom out for a moment. Think about this honestly. Your life today is the sum of loops you have repeated for months or years. Not big, dramatic decisions, small, repeated cycles. That is why change feels hard at first, because you are not just changing behavior, you are interrupting a system that has been running for a long time. But here's the good news. Systems can be rewritten. And once you understand the structure, you are no longer guessing. You are designing. So I want you to hold on to this idea. Every habit in your life is asking 3 questions. What starts me? What do I do? What do I get? What starts me? What do I do? What do I get? If you can answer those 3 questions honestly, you are no longer stuck. You are aware. And awareness is where change begins. Because the truth is this, you are not just someone trying to build better habits. You are already a system of habits. And once you see the loop clearly, you stop living inside it blindly. You start stepping outside it, one small choice at a time, one rewritten cycle at a time. And that is where real change begins.